Hello and welcome back to Authentic Alana and this Thirsty Thursday, your weekly sip of insight, knowledge and wisdom, all things nervous system, children, play, and whatever else I feel like talking about. Today we are going to be diving into nourishing anchors, but before we do that, let's take a moment to check in. So as always, before we jump into the information and knowledge, let's take a moment to check in. So gently close your eyes or lower your gaze if that feels more comfortable. Placing one hand on your chest and one hand on your belly button. Taking a breath in, deep down into your belly, up into your chest, and letting it out with a sigh. Breathing in through our nose, and letting the breath out with a sigh through the mouth. And one more time, breathing in through the nose, deep into the belly and up into the chest. And letting it out with a sigh or a sound out the mouth. Shoulders a little rub, a roll, a little wiggle in your seat. You might want to ask yourself, am I ready for this? Or do I need something to help me feel grounded and connected enough? When you are ready, you can open your eyes and return to us here. So, what are anchors? When you think of anchors, when you hear the word anchors, what do you think of? My immediate thought is an anchor on a boat. Something that boats drop into the water to keep them steady even when the seas are rough and stormy. It anchors them into place. And that's exactly what nourishing anchors are in relation to the nervous system. They are something that we can keep coming back to, that anchor us into that feeling of ventral vagal safety and connection that we are all searching for. These anchors are like touchstones. They are steady and reliable, and even when the seas of life get stormy, overwhelming, stressful, and hard, we know that those anchors are there to keep coming back to keep giving us glimmers of safety, connection, and space, to show us a little bit of light in the darkness. This is what a nourishing anchor is. So why do nourishing anchors matter? Well, I'm pretty sure you can all work that out. Just like an anchor for a boat, they keep us steady even when life gets hard. They are something that we can connect to, that we can come back to, and that we can rely on to support us to regulate even in times that are really challenging. They are almost like a beacon, like a guiding light back to some piece of regulation, safety, and connection. These anchors also remind us and remind our nervous system that there is safety and connection even when we can't feel it. These are the things that regularly bring us back to ourselves. You know, those moments when you have felt overwhelmed or stressed or chaotic, things feel too hard. But then there's just a moment, a pause, a little bit of space in the hardness. That is your nervous system grabbing onto those anchors and bringing you back, even just for a moment. Now, nourishing anchors can be different for all of us. A nourishing anchor could be a piece of music, but The type of music I like and the type of music you like might be completely different. So what is a nourishing anchor for me may not be a nourishing anchor for you. And that is okay, because even though our nervous systems are wired the same way, our experiences and our lives and our personality all weave together to support us to know what feels good for us, or to support our nervous system to know what feels good for it, and what feels like an anchor, and what feels safe and dangerous. So we're going to jump into a short practice in a second, and I just want to invite you to have compassion with yourself, to go slow, and to know there is no right or wrong. Nourishing anchors are not black and white. They live in that space that is grey, and it's going to be different for all of you. So take what feels nourishing for you and leave the rest. So this short practice comes from Deb Dana's work and is a really great way of developing those resources, those anchors inside you, and a reminder of some of the anchors that we have, because often as we move through life, we get so busy that we forget to check in with these things that fill up our cup and that make us feel ventral vagal safety and connection. So once you have these, you can add to them, you can build on them, they may change over time, and then you can specifically use exercises to bring them to life to support that regulation and that nervous system resilience over time. So for right now, just take a moment to feel comfortable wherever you are. Maybe have a little wiggle, maybe take a breath. And gently close your eyes or lower your gaze, whichever feels more comfortable for you. So first of all, I'd like you to reflect on the people in your life that feel like a nourishing anchor for you. You may just imagine them, or you may write a list. Who are the ones who bring you a feeling of safety, of welcome, and of connection? In the who, you may also have a pet who fulfills this nourishing anchor for you. Once you've identified somebody who is present, you may also move to people who have passed away, people you haven't met, but they still bring you that ventral vagal welcome and safety, and maybe even spiritual figures. Next, we're going to think about the what. What do you do that brings your ventral vagal state alive? Look for small actions that feel inviting and connecting. It's often in these small micro moments that we find the most nourishing anchors. Now I invite you to take a tour of your world and find the where of your nourishing anchors. What physical places bring you cues of safety? Look around your home, your neighborhood, your community, your workplace. Bring to mind the everyday places you move through and take note of which feel nourishing, connecting, and safe. And now I invite you to think about when, the times of the day when you feel connected, safe, and can feel these nourishing anchors. Take a moment to go through your day and even the cycles of the year. Sometimes a season can feel more nourishing than others. Bring them into awareness and imagine them or write them down if that feels right for you. As you move through this exercise, I invite you to really feel into what it feels like in those nourishing anchors. What does it feel like to feel the safety, connection, and welcome of these anchors and this ventral vagal state? Take these anchors and use them to continue to anchor into that safety and connection throughout your day and your week. And as I said, you can add to this. They might change. You could make them into a beautiful visual that you can place somewhere to remind you that you always have this available to you, even when it doesn't feel like it. So as we come to a close for this week's Thirsty Thursday, I really invite you to find those nourishing anchors throughout your day and your week. This exercise from Deb Dana is absolutely fantastic, but the moment that this really came alive was when I was with a friend of mine and a colleague, and we were having afternoon tea together and just reconnecting. And as we were beginning to part, we were talking about how nourishing this felt for us and how our cups felt full from being seen, heard, and understood in a really deep and profound way. And I said to her, you are a nourishing anchor for me. And that word just lit me up. And I thought, I must share that with the world, a nourishing anchor. So I invite you, I thank her for that moment and for filling up my cup and for giving me another nourishing anchor in my portfolio of anchors. So as I said, I invite you to find your nourishing anchors throughout the week. I would love to hear some of your nourishing anchors. Feel free to drop them in the comments below. It is always amazing to explore the depth and the vast differences of anchors that we have. And sometimes when we share them with other people, they can bring our own nourishing anchors to life. Thank you so much for being here with me today on Authentic Alana. I hope there have been some gems in. It has been a pleasure to be here with you today. Thank you so much for being here with me today. Don't forget to like and subscribe so that you get all news Authentic Alana. And I can't wait to connect with you again soon.